In closing, from me, I just want to remind us why we were here. Our theme for this week has been the mission, and I'm wondering how many of you think that you could say the mission statement of ICC now at the end of this week. If you can't now, you probably won't. So say it with me. Here we go. Equipping
Christians to shape the future through authentic leadership and cultural communications.
Wow, I love that. I've talked a lot to the coaches about this, but students, student leaders, student speakers, student leaders and shapers of the future. I'm a student right now, and I am studying leadership. And I am studying how organizations practice leadership and how leaders lead in organizations. How appropriate. And something I've learned is that in the studies, in most organizations, people do not know the mission. How unfortunate. How do you know what you're doing there? And so as we celebrated 15 years, something that was very important to us is that everybody who was here would leave knowing the mission. And so we've talked about it. We talked about equipping Christians. And that's not equipping Christian students. That's not equipping Christian adults. That's not equipping Christian coaches. That's equipping Christians. Because across the organization, everything that we do is about equipping. Equipping for what? It isn't equipping so that you will feel good about yourself. If no one's told you that, I will be the one. I love it when you're happy here. I love it when you feel like you did something well. But I don't do this so you will feel good. We're doing this so that you will be equipped to shape the future. That's what we're doing this for. Some days that feels really good, and some days it doesn't. And leaders in the room know that, right? Can I see any nodding heads if you've ever been there? Okay, thank you. So you're being equipped to shape the future. The very act of being here is a future shaping experience. You're taking away from here what you have done here is a future shaping experience. You're sharing with somebody else what you learned while you were here is a future shaping experience. How? Through authentic leadership. Authentic is based in what is real and true, and we at ICC know one source of truth. We believe we can know the person of truth himself. We can know truth. We can know truth embodied in the person of Jesus Christ. And so authentic leadership means, we talked about this at our leadership breakfast as leaders on Monday morning, authentic leadership means we are following the leader. So as Christ followers, people following us are following Christ. And cultural communication. We just heard a great talk about that. We've heard lots of great talks about that. You heard my definition of culture last night, the way we do things here. A lot more people need to know how we do things here, but we also need to understand they don't all do it the way we do it here. And we need to reach out to those cultures and communicate in ways that other people who don't think like us, who don't act like us, who don't know Jesus, who don't express their faith the way we do, who weren't educated the way we are, who don't have the privileges that you do, who have more privileges than we do. We need to communicate with all of those people because it is that important. We're here equipping Christians to shape the future through authentic leadership and cultural communication. And when you leave here, my charge is you need to share with somebody something you learned here. You need to take it back to your chapter. You need to articulate it. All of you in your tracks had a wrap-up session. You need to go back and share what you learned. And share what you're going to do about it. And young leaders in the room, think about this. When somebody shares what they've learned, do you want them to tell you what you're supposed to do now? Most of us don't like that. You want them to show you what they've learned and bring you with them. So that's my charge to you. Bring them with you. Help them experience something you experienced while you were here. Come alongside them. Don't go home and command them. And they'll probably receive it a whole lot better and put it into practice. I'm privileged to introduce two groups of leaders to you at this time. The first one I want to introduce to you in this way. We will close out the program by singing our convention